Hey, this is Bill, and I got a treat, and unfortunately it's a little late, but it was something I wanted to try, and it's like my holiday pasta with prosciutto. And one of the things that I really get a lot of feedback from people is having things that you can do ahead of time. So let's say you're having a nice little get-together, gathering of friends, and you just want something you can pull it out of the fridge, throw in the oven, and be done with it, right? So this actually, I modified this recipe so you could do that. And I just think, to me, the prosciutto really reminds me of the holidays. It's the only time I really can afford to buy it. But it's really cool to work with. So, I got some penne pasta here that I've already cooked, tossed in some olive oil so it doesn't stick. I got 3 tablespoons of butter here, and I'm going to put some onion in it to get it started. I've learned something over the years I just wanted to share, and that is that you can't say you have a favorite pasta, because I really think pasta depends on what you're using it in. There's certain brands and sizes and types that I like better for baking versus, and what kind of, surroundings. And the biggest thing is when you're making something with pasta, if it's too delicate, it's just going to fall apart, and you end up, especially if you overcook it, you end up with this pile of mush, and you're like, where did I go wrong? And it's funny because a restaurant I like, they make their own pasta, but it's almost impossible to reheat, because when it's been sitting in the fridge overnight, even the pasta just kind of gets really mushy. Okay, the onions got a little translucent. I got a couple cloves of garlic, which are a necessity. And I just want to get them to release their oil so I can smell them. Let me tell you, that's like instantaneous. Love it, love it, love it. So I hope you find this is a really cool recipe, because I thoroughly enjoy it. Okay. Like I said, I don't want to kill it. So then this is half pound of mushrooms, button mushrooms I sliced. I'm just going to want to cook these down a little bit, probably about 3 minutes. Got them sitting here so we give up the juice. Yeah, so this is really kind of cool and exciting. I'm stoked, and you don't need a whole lot of mushrooms here. Like I said, a half pound would be plenty. Sometimes when I'm doing a dish like this, I quarter them, just for the way they kind of look, so they're not like these big monster slices. Because sometimes the mushrooms in the store are like monsters. And of course, don't wash your mushrooms. Brush them if they have stuff on. You can just use a finger, nail brush. They do make like vegetable brushes, but and if you're weird about not sure how to get consistency, just quarter it. It's a whole lot easier. I always cut the stem, even with the button, so you can put it, stem down, and just chip, and you've got it quartered. And with the really big, 6, 8, whatever. Oh, these beautiful mushrooms. So, I don't know if you ever bought prosciutto, but if you go into a store, grocery store, and you say, I want some prosciutto, and they say, how do you want it sliced? Yeah, just run away. So it really needs to be really thinly sliced. I prefer when they put paper in between each slice, so it makes it a whole lot easier for me, because really I just wanted to cut these into little strips, and these things are just super fine. You know, fortunately I wasn't paying attention. The store was like super busy when I bought these, but what I like about this place that I bought this is they get like the real stuff. They import the real stuff from Italy, and it is huge different. And if you ever see a recipe that says you can substitute ham or bacon for prosciutto, they're lying. So a little less than a quarter pound. It's pretty salty. You could probably cut it down to 1/8 of a pound. Whoops, I wasn't planning on using the whole thing, but changed my mind when I started cutting it. I'll start heating this through. Just it imparts such a nice flavor. And I did tell the lady at the store because she didn't know. Actually, in like restaurants, sometimes what they'll do is they'll keep the prosciutto in the freezer, or put it in the freezer for a few minutes before they have to slice it, so they can get that thinness. And there's usually kind of like a fat rind, you know, on the outside that they should trim off before they slice it for you. Okay, I don't want to cook it, I just want to get it broken up here. So, just like everything else I make, I got 1.5 cups, a half, a half. 1.5 cups, a half, a half. Oh, okay. And what I want to do is I just want to make sure. And it's so funny, when I made this last time, all I could think about was when I was a kid, having that dried beef in a jar, you know, chip beef, whatever they call it, with the mom make a roux and put it in and serve it on toast, white bread. Because I really wasn't fond of it. I used to, after I toast the bread, put peanut butter and put the bread on top, or put the beef on top of it. So remember, there's a lot of volume from the refrigerator, so I need to get it to little teeny bubbles, just so it can reduce. That's why, you know, you add things in stages, because you really want to keep that temperature up. But like I said, that's a lot of half and half, so it's going to drop the temperature down. While that's working, let me get my stuff out of the fridge. Okay. There we go. Looking good. Just want to make sure I get it to temperature. Make sure that we don't have a whole lot of water from the mushrooms in here. And this is looking pretty good. Got some bubblies going for a minute or so. And I can see it's definitely reduced. I just stopped doing it. Alright. So what I'm going to add next? Well, so I want about 1/4 cup of some nice, fresh, grated Parmesan Reggiano cheese. this beautiful. That's a 1/4 cup, but that's okay. Turn it down, I don't want to destroy it. Let's turn it up a little bit. Okay. Once again, beautiful. So, what I'm going to do to make this like really like holiday snappy cool, well, if you ever made like bacon wrapped shrimp, or I like prosciutto wrapped shrimp, shrimp and prosciutto just go really well. So I got some good size, got like 10 of these little guys here, and because I'm going to bake this in the oven, I'm not really worried about cooking them all the way through. I want to just get them started. Stirred. Okay. These shrimp are already turning pink. Things looking lovely. So, holidays, right? We gotta have some green in there. So let me put a little Italian parsley. At this point I want to turn the heat off. Parsley's so fun to cook with. I just like the way it looks and anything else. Alright, shrimp are definitely there. So now what I need to do is we need to make a mixture here. So I'm going to go ahead and take my pot. Just want to get some. I'll do this in a couple stages. Beautiful. Now, one of the secrets to this is you got to know how much liquid you have in here, because we want to make this so that it's all going to have good coverage. And so I never quite use a whole box. I mean, this is like 7/8 of a box. You could use 3/4 of a box if you wanted more sauce, but this is just the way, and you're going to see in a second because I'm going to pour it out. The other thing is that, you know, sometimes I get all excited about making something and I realize that my baking dish isn't big enough. So I end up with this big mound of stuff. So a little bit of pulling the reins in and making sure I do this right will definitely benefit me. Okay. Obviously, you want to make sure you get all this stuff in here, because this is the pretty stuff. Now, I want to kind of get this moved around. I'm going to try and bury those shrimp. Oh, look, they're everywhere. Alright. Now, doesn't that look really cool? So this is almost done. It really does smell good, I do have to tell you. And this is perfect. This is, you know, this is dinner for four, right? So what do I want to do? Well, we got the green in there, but I want some red. So I got some sliced up roasted red peppers. You know, you can write Happy Birthday on here or Merry Christmas if you want with them. I'm just going to throw them in here. I love that offset of the roasted red peppers and the prosciutto and the shrimp and the mushrooms and the garlic, right? Yeah. Does a body good. And last but not least, because there's no such thing as too much cheese, just want to do a little sprinkle on there. And really good cheese like this, it just has such a nice bite to it. You know, don't buy the stuff in the little shaker cans. Okay, I'm getting a little crazy here, but I'm all excited. So from here, you could throw this in a 350 oven, 10-15 minutes, and you've got dinner. Or, like I'm going to do in this case, because I like to do ahead stuff, I'm going to let this cool down, cover it up, put it in the fridge, and when I'm ready to serve it, I'm probably going to heat it up a little slower, so I'm going to do 20-25 minutes. You know, obviously I'm going to get it out of the oven, and I don't want it, or out of the fridge ahead of time. Probably about 20-25 minutes, like 325. We just want to get this all heated through and really pretty again. But anyway, this is the kind of stuff that, like I said, a lot of these recipes I have are great, but it's really difficult to manage when you're having a little party at home, a little get together, and you spend all the time in the kitchen. And I like doing that because that's why I always like having an open kitchen, and because I like to show people how to make things. But, you know, there's so many things that you can just modify a little bit and be ready to throw it in the oven just ahead of time. You know, because there's always those guests that are late coming, right? So you can't always eat on time like you're supposed to. But this is really great. I really want you to try it. I really want you to enjoy it. Really simple. I cut some of the ingredients out of here just to really make this as simple and luxurious as possible. But I think that you're gonna love this. So of course, what you gotta do, if you want to know what I'm doing all the time, you gotta subscribe. You gotta hit that notification bell. And I've been getting a lot of comments lately. I really appreciate it. Even if it's just a way to go, love that recipe, I'm going to try it, or I have tried it, or maybe you could have added this or done this differently, I'll take it all, okay? Thanks. So really what it comes down to is I want you to have a great day, happy holidays, have a great time in the kitchen, get the family back together, like when I was a kid. Everyone sat around and stared at the darn turkey in the oven. And I'll see you next time. I've got some really great fun videos coming up soon.